Have you broken a string but you don't have any fancy tools and you just want to fix it and move on with your life? Some people hire professionals to restring their guitars. And my question for those people is, That takes two things, money and patience. And if you're anything like me, you don't have either of those. So today I'm going to show you how to restring an electric guitar using no equipment other than the guitar, the new string, and your own two hands. I don't even have a table. The guitar that I'm going to be restringing today is a Godin Progression Plus. Now, it's similar in general layout and configuration to a Stratocaster style guitar, so if that's the type of guitar that you have, then good for you. I'm happy for you. The first step is to remove the old string. Stratocaster style guitars load the string through the back of the guitar, through these holes. Not all guitars will be like this. Sometimes they load from the back of the bridge in the front, but in this case, I pull the string out from the back of the guitar. Sometimes it can get stuck on the end, so make sure nothing's obstructing the tip of the string over there, because it will be curled up from being on the tuner for so long. And then, once it's good to go, just give it a good tug, it'll come right out. Once you've gotten rid of the old string, it's time to insert the new string through the appropriate hole in the back of the guitar. Pull it all the way through, and make sure that the ball end is as far in as it can go, that it's nice and tight, and that it's not stuck on anything in the back. Give it a few good tugs to make sure that that's as far up there as it can go. And then congratulations, you got this big old floppy string coming out the front of your guitar. Believe it or not though, we're not done yet. Now it's time to insert the string into the tuning peg. Use your left hand to pull it tight. And I say left hand because pay attention, this step is important. Using your right hand, grab the string with your finger and thumb, one tuning peg away from where it's inserted. So I am grabbing it with my finger and thumb right next to the A string tuner. For the thicker strings like the low E and A strings, the distance of one tuning peg is usually good. But for the thinner strings, often like the D string and above, the distance of two tuners is probably what you're going to want to go for. The point on the string where your finger and thumb are grabbing, that's the point where we want the string to start wrapping around the tuning peg. So holding it tightly, slide it back into the E string tuning peg, and that will give you just enough slack on the string so that it can wrap around the tuning peg several times and it will stay on there nice and tight. And then don't move your thumb and finger. Keeping them nice and steady, now your left hand can start winding the string tight. It's important to make sure that you're winding the string in the right direction. It's nice and simple when the tuners are all in a row like this, 6 on one side, because they're all going to go the same direction. But if you have 3 on one side and 3 on the other side, for example, just make sure that you're going the same direction, winding it the same way as the other strings around it are wound. As the string gets tighter, you can use your finger and thumb on the right hand to crease the string to make sure that it stays nice and tight at that exact same point on the string. So now all you have to do is tune it to the appropriate note. I'm a big fan of standard tuning, so I'm going to be tuning my low string to E. Now that my guitar is perfectly in tune, I'm going to give it a strum. And listen closely to the sound of the strings. See if you can notice anything interesting going on here. 52 Week Guitar Player is now accepting new enrollments until the end of June. So if you're serious about mastering the guitar, you can follow the link in the description to sign up today. Stick around until the end of the video to learn more. Like I said, perfectly in tune. So now we've just got to do something with this end of the string. Some players like to leave them on, just flopping around like that, but that's one of my pet peeves, because from the player's perspective, you have 6 of these things flopping around all over the place. They're noisy, just rattling around every time you move, and they get in the way of what you're doing, they poke at you. And from the audience's perspective, having 6 of these things shaking around all the time, reflecting light, it's super distracting to look at. So, personal opinion, but I hate it. But hey, I'm not here to criticize your choices. You can leave your unkempt strings flopping around if you want to. You're also free to leave a flowing line of TP out the back of your pants while you walk around if you think that looks cool. It's a free country, man. The best way to keep things clean up here is to clip off the end of the string with a pair of wire cutters. But remember, those are tools, and we're doing this with no equipment whatsoever. So if I find myself in a situation with no wire cutters and I want to get rid of the end of the string, I just crease the string back and forth until I can just break it right off. It gives you the same result as you'd get with wire cutters, but it just takes a little longer since it's just breaking down the string more gradually. Look at that! Now the string is on, it's tuned to the right note, and we gave it a trim, so it's looking good. The G string is infamous for two reasons: its funny name, and the fact that it goes out of tune a lot. So when I'm changing a string that frequently struggles to stay in tune, I like to lubricate the slot up here using graphite to make sure that the string can easily slide in and out. That's just a fancy way of saying, rub a pencil on the nut. Your tuning will be more stable. I don't know if a pencil counts as equipment, but it doesn't really matter because this step is completely optional. It's just one of those things that will improve your quality of life as a guitar player. Anyway, now we're ready to actually put on the string. So once again, we insert it through the hole in the back, pull it through, make sure it's all the way in the hole, not stuck on anything, and then put it through the hole in the tuning peg. Now this time, since it's a much thinner string than the previous one we installed, we're going to use the length of 2 tuning pegs to know how much slack to give the string. So we pull it tight and grab it at this point around the E string tuning peg. So this is the point on the string where it will start being wound around the peg. So then we just slide the string back into the peg so it has exactly that much slack, and then we start winding. This takes forever! Once it's in tune and everything looks correct, then you can clean things up by removing the end of the string. Crease it back and forth just like we did before. The good news is, the thinner strings are much easier to break off. So there you have it. Once you get used to the general flow of changing strings, it becomes pretty easy to do quickly. It usually takes me between 5 and 10 minutes to change all 6 strings on a guitar like this. But what good is a fresh set of new strings if you're still feeling stuck when it comes to playing the dang thing? Well, I have just the thing for you. 52-Week Guitar Player is an absolutely awesome online program. It's a one-of-a-kind experience, a hybrid of an online guitar course, a social community, and a personalized journey where you can talk to and learn from expert guitar players from around the world. If you're serious about mastering the guitar and you're willing to put in the hard work alongside many other like-minded individuals, follow the link in the description to join the waiting list. We will be open for new enrollments until the end of June or once 100 new students register. Even if you find the program's not for you, we have a 90-day full refund policy. So if you sign up today, you've got absolutely nothing to lose. Anyway, I hope you found this video helpful and enjoyable. So if you'll excuse me, now that I've got a fresh set of new strings on this guitar, I'm gonna go practice.